Lally ho, friends, and welcome to a very special unboxing video. This is something that I've been waiting for almost a year now since I pre-ordered it. But here yesterday, I received my Final Fantasy XIV TTRPG starter set. So for those of you that have followed this channel for a while, you know that Final Fantasy and tabletop gaming is my two major hobbies. We just did episode 59 of Kupo Quest, which is a D&D actually D&D system, but a lot of Final Fantasy on top of that. So when they announced this, I was incredibly excited, and I can't really wait. All I did was kind of open this and kind of glance in, but we're going to go through and actually see what everything is together. So let's just get started. So I know that the pre-orders for this went live sometime last year and sold out, and they're doing another round of these now. So they're pre-orders for some more that'll go out in the fall. So here's just and actually, I just noticed as I took this off, it has like a cheat sheet on the back, some actual DM stuff, I suppose. So again, I haven't read through this. I know that the free instruction books are available online on their website, but I wanted to go into this as fresh as possible. So this very gorgeous, and actually, I'll put it down here. Maybe you can see it a little better. Little bit of a glare. This is my laptop's camera, so sorry about that. But yeah, so this is what we've got, the Final Fantasy XIV TTRPG. Very nice cover, if you ask me. And then, yeah, I guess a better view here on the back side. You can see a little bit of just like the DM screen kind of stuff. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Next up, let's see what we got here. We have some dice, and these do seem to be custom dice for the game. Looks like the 20s, as you can see. Actually, let me get a better color. Red, probably better. Have the little meteor symbol there for the 20s. These come with 4 different colors. Looks like maybe let's just dump them out here. They're color coded for some reason. And again, I don't know. I don't know why. I will say it looks like, if I'm guessing, I did flip through just a little bit of the free one, and just noticed that there were still classes or like tank, DPS, healer, so roles. And I can't help but notice, green for healing, red for DPS. I don't know what any of this means though. I don't know what any of this means, but you can see that there are a bunch of different colored die that came with this. So, oh, I'm missing a couple. That makes sense. I was thinking that it didn't make sense that they weren't really even. Although, still not, are they? Huh, interesting. So there's definitely more red. So I am thinking red has something to do with DPS. Then you've got blue and green, which would be healer and tank. That's just kind of the color coordination it goes with in the game. But I don't know. I don't know. This isn't a rules review. It's just an unboxing of what's in here. There will be rules reviews. I may be doing a series about how to learn how to play the rules, because we will be running this on the channel. This starter set comes with some intro adventures and some pre-made characters. I've already started recruiting people for that, so we will be running through that here on the channel. So if you're interested in watching us learn how to play, I guess, then check that out. It should be up in the next couple weeks. All right, the next thing that it comes with is the player book. Now, one thing I will notice, it is very thin, right? I think I was under the false impression that we were getting like the full rule book with this. That doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like we get basically what I think would be the equivalent of the free stuff that's online, which means I don't think that there's going to be any information in here about how to make your own characters and things like that, which is a little disappointing. I know that there are additional products coming out later, a full player's handbook and a full DM guide. I just, and it's really on me for thinking that's what we were getting here, but, it is what it is. As far as the player's guide, it's not very thick. You can see, got a rules summary on the back, which is really nice. It's kind of hard to see everything down there. But a rules summary here on the back, so for some quick reference that you can hand out at your table. So, oh, limit breaks. Hold on. During an encounter, the GM will inform players if and when limit breaks become available, after which the party can use up to 3 limit breaks. However, each adventurer can only use 1 limit break per encounter. That's an interesting way to handle limit breaks. In Kupo Quest, I made limit breaks just insanely overpowered things they could do once per long rest, and yeah, it got hard to balance around, but it's been fun. It's been fun, so it'll be interesting to see. It sounds like it triggers more like there's not like an actual game mechanic that triggers it, so that'll be interesting to see. Or maybe there is. Maybe it just tells you in the Dungeon Master's Guide how to do it. Speaking of which, this is next, the Game Master book. It is a little bit thicker, so I got a little bit more reading to do. Um, let's see, just a quick glance through it. I'm assuming it has, yep, okay, I'm assuming it has like stat blocks for monsters, things like that, and how to play the game, I imagine. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not familiar with the rules yet. But it's got an intro adventure in here. Okay. Pass at your time, rest and sleep. The beginning of this seems like your pretty typical tabletop stuff, role playing basics, things like that. It is interesting, I've been playing a lot of different systems lately. This definitely is a D20 system of some kind. Obviously, we've got the D20s. I imagine just flipping through this, it looks like the 5e rule set is not too far off, but until I can really dive further into it, it'll be hard to kind of tell. So here's the Game Master book. It does have the same exact picture as the other, just blue. Blue and thicker, so that's how you can tell them apart. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, by the way, the back of the box didn't show this. The back of the box is also just very beautiful. Just very, very pretty. Love the artwork in this. I love the artwork for Final Fantasy XIV in general. All right, one second. It's a little stuck. All right. Next thing is the Warrior Strategy Guide. All right. So this is one sheet. Looks like probably a cheat sheet for whoever's playing the Warrior. So, like I said, this has pre-made character sheets in it. So Warrior, White Mage, Dragoon, and Black Mage. And each one of them has a single page cheat sheet. Uh, this seems to be, yeah, like I said, I think not actually your character sheet, but something that you can hold on to. On the back, it's got a rule summary. And then on the front, it's got some FAQs about the class itself. And then it's got some tips and tricks and things like that. So let's just take an example. Black Mage FAQ. I need to take out an enemy this turn, but they still have plenty of HP. How can I deal a lot of damage all at once? First, use Blizzard or Blizzard 2 to grant yourself Umbral Ice. On the next turn, use Transpose, one of your secondary abilities, to remove Umbral Ice and grant yourself Astral Fire, which boosts the damage dealt by your fire aspected abilities. If you combine this with your consecutive invocation trait to attack to attack with 2 fire aspected abilities in a single turn, you can reduce your foes to ashes within a matter of moments. That sounds like a bunch of jargon from that a Final Fantasy XIV Black Mage player may understand. I recognize a lot of that jargon from leveling my Black Mage to like 40. But yeah, like I said, there'll be a lot more diving in to actually understand what half of that stuff means. So, but it is interesting though, because I do know enough about Black Mage to know that plays, or it sounds like it plays really close to what the actually would play like in the game. So I'm interested in, the classes that I play, what those are going to look like. Like when we get the full player's handbook, what's the red mage going to look like? I can't wait to actually see how they translate that into tabletop. Again, a little disappointed that for now this is what we're with, but the fact that it's here, the fact that I have it in my hands means that it's real, that more is coming, and I absolutely can't wait for that. All right, so let's see what is next. Next, I have looks like an attribute sheet. So this is the attribute sheet for the warrior. And I'll just put that right there so we can take a closer look at it. Stuff's starting to slide around. I've got too much stuff down there. Now the confusing thing though is they sent me 3 of those. 3 white mages. Yeah, it looks like they just sent me 3 of everything. I'm not really sure why we need so many copies. Maybe it's just for reusability. Maybe it's so that we can play it with other people. Not sure, but it does look like we get 3 copies of each sheet. for the characters or for the jobs. So this is the tank warrior, level 40. No. That's the difference. They're different levels. So this first one's level 30, this next one's level 40, and this last one's level 50. I'm assuming this has something to do with how the structure of the actual campaign goes. I would have to assume so. I guess to keep you from having to level up during this intro adventure, they probably just gave you leveled up character sheets as you go. Okay, that makes sense. That was that was subtle. I didn't pick up on that at first. Okay, but it looks like again this means nothing to me because I don't really understand exactly the system just yet. But it's got your traits and other effects labeled out. You can see that kind of down here. It's got your primary and secondary abilities. Those are all labeled here. And I know it's really hard to read, but these are the primary abilities, secondary abilities, and then instant abilities. And it's got a description of your limit break up here. So the blank fields on the left of your character sheet can be used to keep track of useful information such as HP and MP. So that's just basically this profile part right here. So, okay. Cool. Again, not going to dive too much into the rules because I don't know them. But but we will definitely get to that later on the channel. So but yeah, so this is just going to go through all these character sheets, put them aside. Again, we went over what jobs they were. And you will notice that it's a typical light party. You've got a tank and your warrior, you've got a white mage for your healer, and then you've got your 2 DPS dragoon and black mage, melee and range. So it's a pretty decent breakout. All right, next thing. Looks like we have some maps. So let's just open this up. This is double-sided. You've got this side and then this side. Just some little battle maps. Looks like we have another one in here. I'm just going to dump it now. It's getting hard to get this stuff out. Okay, there we go. So some more battle maps. We've got this one. Oh, general purpose map. I didn't see this. I probably should have looked at the side I showed you first. So I'll just slide that right there too. Try to get around the glare a little bit. One final battle map here. Another general purpose. And then we've got, nice garden path and some rocks there. Not rocks, but grass and rocks. Just leave it like that. And then some punch outs. And this is interesting here because it looks like you can see they're definitely going with like a stack up marker, right? So it seems like some of the battles will function like raid battles, which is really cool that they would translate those mechanics into a tabletop game. So just seeing that right there really intrigues me. That'll be interesting to see, and I think that's the one thing that Final Fantasy XIV could bring to this that would separate it a little bit from D&D is just the mechanics of their fights, because I love D&D, I love 5e, but a lot of the fights, they do end up being, stand, attack, and then some of your bigger monsters, have legendary actions and things like that to work around, but actual positional, what do you have to do? Do you have to move to stack up? There's not a lot of those. There's not a lot of those mechanics in 5e, so it's interesting to see that, and I'll be really excited to get to play around with some of that. Here's some punch outs for just some monsters. And you know what? I am going to be running this on the channel, but with all these punch outs, it's making me really want to get a home game going to where I can actually use some of this stuff. So we got a Magitech Scorpion here. That'll be fun. We have some companion tokens over here. You see what these are? And I'm not really sure, it's for their chocobos, but I'm not really 100% sure how that's going to work. It's going to be really interesting. And again, I don't know what these are either. You've got the circles and you've got the squares on these little punch outs here. I'm not sure. And then finally, just one more of these. One more thing of punch outs that we've got. So I'll just put that right there. So yeah, all in all, that is, oh, nope, at the very bottom of the box. The very bottom of the box, we have a world map of Eorzea here. So, wow, that's really nice, actually. But the two of them together, this and then the cover, make a pretty good DM screen. Really, if you can just put them up, that gives the player something to look at, and it actually has useful information on the bottom of each one of these. So, yeah, overall, very excited. Very, I've got a little bit of disappointment. I'm not going to lie because I think I was expecting too much, and that's on me. I did want to be able to open this and be able to start making campaigns, making characters, and it just doesn't seem to be like that's what this product was intended to do. Which is fine. I mean, that's fine, and the more I think about it, the D&D starter sets don't come with a player's handbook. They come with abridged rules, basically the exact same thing that we got here. So I can't really fault it. I can't really say that, oh, I'm disappointed in the product itself. I think I just had my expectations too high because it was new. I kind of just assumed we got the full text with it. Now, that is to say, will I be buying the full text? Probably. I mean, it depends on what I see when I get into this, but I don't expect to absolutely hate this system, but we'll see. So my next steps, I'm going to be going through doing a deep dive into these rules. Then I will be scheduling a stream of the intro adventures. So I've got a couple people. Some of them might even be from Kupo Quest if you've been watching that, and then some familiar faces that you've probably seen around the stream if you've been watching the channel for a little bit. But I'll put together a light party. We'll get to go on this. We'll try to learn the rules and go through and do a play and give us a feedback after that is what we'll do. But for now, that is it. That is what comes in the Final Fantasy tabletop role-playing game starter set. So manage your expectations, know what you're getting, know that you're getting exactly what it sounds like you're getting. There's no false advertisement here. It is a starter set. It is meant to be an easy way to pick up, learn the rules, and start playing, not necessarily a way to be able to start creating your own characters and diving into creating your own narratives per se. Now you can, I'm sure, with the characters that they give you, but they're still lacking a little bit of the support it would need for a full campaign mode. But that is to say, there is more coming soon. I know they've announced a full player's guide and a full game master's guide, and it says just coming soon still, but I'm hoping at least one of those will be out by the fall, but we'll see. I would also assume that the game master's guide, since they've not announced a separate like monster manual, that it will have most of the monster stats and things like that in it. But that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this. I truly enjoyed opening this with you. I'm glad glad you could share this with me, and keep an eye out because we'll definitely be running this on the channel. But in the meantime, if you need your fix of Final Fantasy tabletop, check out Kupo Quest. We run it on Twitch, Wolfkin's TTRPG, every Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Those get uploaded to YouTube on the Highwind Herald page, but you can find them all from the Wolfkin's Tabletop page. It's the first thing you'll see. It's basically the flagship campaign that I have going on. 59 episodes so far. But now's one of the best times to jump in. We just brought in a new cast member, started a new arc. We're only 3 episodes into that arc. So if now is the time to jump in if you want to. But if not, and you're just interested in more of what this game looks like, keep an eyes peeled. Join our Discord if you want. If you're interested in playing or just want to keep up to date, that's the easiest place to get up to date information on whatever shows are coming out and what systems we're looking to explore. So with that, everybody, thank you all for hanging out with me. Lally ho, and we'll see you next time.